Hello, and welcome back to the Design Plus podcast, where we get vulnerable, dig deep, spill the beans or the tea about all things work, career, designing your ideal lifestyle, and living an unboxed life as a creative, individualist, free spirit type person. I'm your host, career guide, and fellow rebel, Miriam Raquel Sands, Raquel for short. Let's talk about what the whole point of having a job, having a business really is. Because when we start this whole path of what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do? And then we get so caught up because, of course, the survival, the defense mechanism, the need to make money, to survive, to live on our own, be free, save, and even fulfill expectations, try to be what other people want us to be, have our family and friends and loved ones be proud of us. But it all starts with the question of, who do you want to be? Who do you see yourself becoming? As a young child, we have all these dreams of, I want to be an astronaut, a firefighter, a doctor. I want to be a ballerina, a gardener, a veterinarian. And the intention, most likely, most of the times, are pure. They're filled with, I just want to help, or I love animals, or this seems interesting to me, or that seems so gross at school, or I like to draw. It's very organic, very unique, very ordinary to some extent, because the intention is so organic, so natural, so without a thought, without effort, without forcing anything. And it isn't until we get older that things become more forced. We try to mold ourselves, we try to become something that we're not. We get scared, full of fear, get frustrated and sad. And there's a lot of expectations and limitations and negativity around us that don't support, don't allow us to really thrive and live to our fullest, really be who we wanted to be, who we really are inside. I know for me, when I was little, I remember teaching my stuffed animals. I used to leave them around and talk to them, have a little easel and talk to them about fantasies and histories and math and science and who knows what else I would come up with in my brain. And I was really interested in being able to share knowledge, share with others. And the other type of what we call now profession or field that really interested me was medicine. Once I got older and I started to know what surgery was and what doctors did, I really became interested in being a surgeon. And I was so specific. I would say I wanted to be a heart or a brain surgeon because those are, to my little mind, the most important organs in the human body. And without those, you can't survive. Which is true, I believe. You can't survive without a brain or a heart. But that was it. That was my reasoning. It wasn't because I would make more money in that field, in that profession. It wasn't because somebody told me to do that, because it ran in the family. It was just because I thought those two organs were the most interesting and that they were the most vital to helping someone to live, to just live. And I wanted to be a part of helping people live fully, live completely. And I didn't know any of that conceptually when I was little. I just had these dreams. I just had these big ideas. And then with time, and thinking of the future, thinking of what is to come, thinking of all the things that could be, and having regrets or having fears, then shit gets real, and the whole fantasy and the whole dreaming gets really hard to pursue and make reality, because my fears from other people, fears from society, and trying to fit under labels within boxes and checking things off, all of that. And then I start to doubt, well, why did I even want to be those things? And who is that person anymore? And why do I even need to be dreaming? Why can't I just find something practical or find some sort of compromise? And that's what I did. I got into writing when I was in middle high school. I used it as an emotional tool, a healing tool to cope with some family dynamics, some trauma, some drama. And the habit stuck with me, just writing, just journaling, expressing through words in that way. And I thought, well, this is great, because now, moving forward a few decades when I was in college, I thought this is both a practical skill, something that I can use to survive, and also somehow maybe I can use it to live a good life, live a dream, being creative somehow, sharing an opinion, sharing a thought, getting published. And so that was my compromise. I was somehow being able to be a teacher and share, while also heal through words. And it took me a long time to peel back the layers, to come home to myself and realize that I've always been me. Or better yet, I never changed. My true desires, my true intent and dreams, none of that changed. They just got oppressed, suppressed. They got molded and shifted and tainted and tilted and all sorts of things to make it look like they were no longer my dreams. And I started to think, when am I ever gonna just arrive? When is everything just gonna be settled and I'm just gonna have everything under control and checking that box and just feeling like I've achieved? Because society has this expectation that we need to achieve something, that something external needs to be validated and affirmed. But we are always who we are. And again, that might sound a bit nonchalant, or it may sound obvious, or I don't know. But you are always going to be who you are. The skills and strengths and passions and dreams and fears and feelings and all of it has always been inside you. It's like you are this seed, this flower. And in that seed, to be that flower, you already have everything. You have all of the ingredients and the DNA and all the essential components to then blossom. But because we get put in environments and situations and things that maybe don't really serve and nurture us, that then we start to question, oh my gosh, maybe I'm not an aloe plant, maybe I am a rose, maybe I am a sunflower, but no, I am a tulip, to kind of follow that analogy, that metaphor. So it gets tricky, it gets hard. We get blinded or blindsided and tricked and duped and all these other things to feel that we constantly have to do something to achieve, to fit in. And then we constantly have to do something, change ourselves, and be something that we're not. But you've always been yourself. What I would like to say is that on top of, you already have everything inside you, the strength, the creativity, your own particular zones of genius and ways of expressing. On top of all of that, when you are in a job or having a certain role, those opportunities, those experiences can bring out more of what is already inside you. So, for example, if you are a graphic designer or you are a writer, an accountant, whatever your current title, role, job description is, there are pieces within that that naturally come to you and that naturally get highlighted. More of the creative expression, more of the organization, more of the mathematics and logical type thinking. And those are the things that are really important to note, because those are the things that are constant. Those are the things that come easily to us, naturally, without force or pressure. And if we continue to lean into our strengths and the things that naturally come from within us effortlessly, then those things not only affirm who we've always been, who we are, and ultimately they can shine a light on what way, what path, what skills we really should treasure and honor and continue to develop, because those are the things that help us develop our lifestyle, design our business or our career, however we choose to show up. So if I, for example, had continued with being a technical writer, because it makes a lot of money in the area that I'm in, it's something that is a need. It will always be useful to be able to write and edit technical documents, proposals, all that sort of thing. But if I had continued in that, I wouldn't have ever been able to pick up on and really see that my strength is design, and not just graphic design, but the user experience design and website design and interior design, and now creating my business about helping others design their lifestyle, which implements and includes all of these different types of design into their career, into their lifestyle, the business. And so if I hadn't have had that eye-opening experience and started to see, to sense that I was molding myself, trying to put myself in a box, in something that really wasn't for me, wasn't honing in on my strengths, and wasn't serving me besides helping me survive and make money, I wouldn't have been able to start this whole path. So a job, a career, something that we start to view as a necessity, can become a real opportunity, not just, of course, going up or down the corporate ladder, but ultimately an opportunity to see within ourselves what we really want, who we are, how we want to live our lives, how we want to be of service and show up to others, how we want to create change in the world, in the environment, in our community. Because one job might have a small domino ripple effect in your bank account. It might have a small effect on your immediate team and group of people that you interact with. But in the long run, a job creates a lifestyle. A job creates an identity, and it can strengthen you, it can lift you up, support you, or it can suppress and diminish and eventually erase all of the things that naturally come within you. Kind of going back to that analogy of nature and the plants. If I were to put a seed, a sunflower seed, in the desert or whatever type of very dry environment, that sunflower, well, I'm not a biologist or agriculturalist, but I'm thinking that sunflower won't be able to thrive and might even die in that environment, because that seed isn't meant for that environment. It might adapt, who knows? It might turn into something else based off of whatever survival and defense mechanisms it has, but it won't be that sunflower that maybe it was meant to be, that maybe it could have been. And that happens to us. That happens to many of us who start in one direction, and then because of time and expectations and culture and all sorts of things, we change, we adapt. We're no longer the tulip or the rose or whatever it is that naturally we could have been. Instead of a pink rose, we become a yellow rose, or sometimes we change completely to be a daffodil, or I don't know. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily bad, because we all have to find a way to survive, to live, to thrive within our own means and accessibilities and capacities and everything. And more than anything, if you have the opportunity, if you have the chance to peel back those layers, shed those pieces of you that have been put on you, that have been trying to morph you, I would say take that chance, because there's only one you, however cliche that is, and you have a right, you deserve to be able to live the life that is not only best for you and meant for you, but that will also, as you live your truth and your experiences, it will also allow others to live their truth and their experiences, however cliche that is. But it is the truth. Because just how, again, with the nature analogy, the bees come to the flowers because of the pollen and the natural, I think it's nectar. You see, I'm not a biologist, agriculturalist, but there's a reason why certain things work and in harmony and synchronicity. So if you show up for yourself, you may not even realize how you're also helping others to show up for themselves and take action in their own lives, and how you leaning into your strengths and really building your own inner reserves and your inner energy and capacity, that allows so much change within your life, your family, your job, your relationships, your, of course, the economy, the money, all of that gets influenced just by you taking up your space, being true and honest and real with yourself, and taking the necessary actions accordingly. So you always have had what you've needed inside of you. And like I said, because of the external, because of the society and the environment that we've been put in and that we live in, it gets hard to hear ourselves, to really honor ourselves, put ourselves first. Society isn't built that way. But this is a reminder for you to know that you have everything that you need inside of you. And that's not just, oh, you have love inside of yourself. No, you have the creativity, the passion. You have the strength and the determination inside of you. If you wanted to be a doctor or whatever way you want to show up, you have that capacity inside. It's about spending time with yourself to realize, this is who I am. This is what comes naturally to me. These are my strengths. And then this is how I choose to show up. Based on this knowledge and this awareness of myself, what is it that makes sense? What is it that I want to be able to focus on and hone in on? What makes sense for me at this time? Because long term, this is really how I want to show up in the world. Doing XYZ is what really will not just allow me to be me and live the lifestyle I want and to the potentiality and the possibilities that I want, but also I will be able to affect XYZ change, and I'll be able to do all of these other things and live this sort of way. So remember that you have everything that you need inside of you. You have the strengths and the creativity, and you are who you're meant to be. You have that wisdom and knowledge inside you. And start to peel back as you can the layers so that you get more clarity and closer to your inner self. And whatever job or circumstance situation you're in, remember that is either shining a light on things that build you up and that feel good, or they might shine a light on that might not be your strength, that might not be how you want to show up in the world, but you always have a choice. You have a choice to give into that more, or give into yourself and continue to focus and prioritize on your own natural uniqueness and your gifts and talents and strengths. So go be yourself. Go take positive, productive action on your natural gifts and strengths, and take it one step at a time. Until next time. And that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in and listening. If you liked what you heard and would like to get more insight or support from me, check out my website at MiriamRaquelSands.com. You can also find me in all of the social places at my handle at MiriamRaquelSands, or leave a comment down below. Until next time, take a breath, take it easy, love yourself, hug yourself, and be well. Bye.